to just go for it would be have a plan, but don't stick to it if not needed. Like if you do something and you change it or it doesn't work, it's okay that you go back on your word or you take a lot longer than expected. And I think even with the storefront, we've been in works for a while, but we just never said anything. And so I would say if you want to start your own business, if you want to do something, do it, but don't feel like you have to have all your ducks in a row. It's okay if you figure it out as you go. There might be a client that I get that asks me to do a bigger project than I can handle. And guess what? I'm gonna say yes and figure it out. I'm not gonna just say no right away, but I might have said no before. Now I feel confident enough to say yes and like figure it out as I go. But I just think sometimes people try to get all their pieces together, all their ducks in a row, and at that point you feel like you'll never do it. We thought this was gonna be a side thing. We thought this was gonna be like maybe a market thing once a month. And again, it was not something I thought 2 years ago I would be here today saying that this is what I'm about to step into full time. That was never the goal. It was just a passion and a hobby, and it turned into something so beautifully. So we're figuring out as we go, and we're adding things to make us more professional and more accountable as we go. I didn't have everything I have now 2 years ago, and it still worked. So just do it. I think there's a love-hate relationship when it comes to Instagram. And I think I would love to encourage anyone that is discouraged by Instagram to just keep trying. Like, just be you, post what makes you happy, post your work that you're proud of, and just be engaged. That's the whole point of Instagram. I think sometimes people take it too serious. It's meant to be a community. So you need to be engaged, you need to build relationship. And I think the beautiful thing about Instagram, there's such a community out there that I think if I could give any advice is just have fun on it, don't take it too serious. And I think you'd be surprised the results you can get, the engagement you can get, the friends you can get from it, of just going, I'm just on here to show my work. And if someone likes it, they like it. And if you get business out of it, you get business out of it. But if not, you've made a friend. And I think that's what it's all about. Like, if you want people to engage on your stuff, then engage with others. And it's like what you do to others, others will do to you. And so I think that's kind of the point of it, is I sit on Instagram for fun, but when I'm on it, I'm on it. I follow you for a reason, or I wouldn't follow you. So if you post a photo, I'm either gonna engage, like it, comment it, DM you back, whatever the engagement is, because I follow you for a reason. And just keep doing you, love people, and engage with people, and be real, be authentic, care about them, care about their business, care about their family, care about their kids. And it comes so natural where it's like, it's easy. And it doesn't seem like an extra thing to do. When it comes to creativity off of social media, I think it definitely hurts us because you're always comparing yourself. Whether someone has a bigger budget, whether someone has a different space, a different ambiance, or a building, or anything like that, you could do the exact same work, but it looks different because of the environment it's in. So you could love your work, but then you hate it, or vice versa. Or you love social media because you do something and it goes viral, and people love it and people care about it. And people's comments is what feeds you of going, oh, this is beautiful, or I love this, I did something, I created something. So I don't know, I think it's a love-hate relationship with everything on social media. I think because I've loved social media and I loved Instagram from the get-go, I've never let it control me, which I know a lot of people struggle with. I just have never given into it. So for me, the validation and the comments and the encouragement is what keeps me going. And it's not what I do it for. But I think because I have a healthy relationship when it comes to Instagram, I post what I want to post. I really do. I'm I'm not gonna go off of the algorithm. I'm not gonna go off of a color palette. I'm like, oh, this is cute, I'm gonna post it, or this photo came out way better than I thought, I'm gonna post it. I don't overthink it. And so I think I appreciate the comments, and I appreciate the validation, because I think that I've never been offended by them. I don't overthink it. I don't really, I don't know. It's really helped my business, even me personally. And then I know when to turn it off and when not to care for it. So I think I do really appreciate it. I think the best advice I've gotten sounds cliche, be you. I think in the world that we live in now, with social media at your fingertips, Pinterest at your fingertips, everyone's creativity, it's hard sometimes to feel creative because you're being hit with things left and right. And I think the best advice is like, stop looking. Like, just do what speaks to you, pull the colors that you like, create something that represents you. And so I think I've tried to carry that out in our brand of, yes, do I ask for inspiration photos? But I then also try to add my own twist to it of being like, I want it to be me, I want it to be us, I don't want it to be what everyone else is doing on Instagram, even though you're naturally gonna do that stuff. But I think just being you and feeling confident in that, and feeling confident of like what you bring to the table matters. I would say the worst advice I've gotten is not to do it. I think that as we've tried to take steps forward, as we've dreamed, as we've had ideas, and you tell certain people and they have doubt in you, or things that we want to do in the storefront that I have brought up and people question you, have really hurt or like give you discouragement, and you're like, wait, maybe I'm not doing it right, or maybe I'm not seeing the need for it. And then I have to remind myself like, no, this is what's going to make me stand out, and this is what I'm excited about, and I kind of can't wait to prove people that we can do this. The hardest lesson I had to learn in our business was probably everything. My mom is the hands and the talent of our business. And so when she first moved here and we wanted to start this business of making flowers, I had to learn everything, from the communication to the networking, to the invoices, to how we're gonna deliver this. But I think the hardest thing was learning all the names of the flowers because there's so much. People send you a photo and you're supposed to be the expert, and my mom knew it, but I didn't know it. And for me to feel like I was a part of it, I really have studied and learned and try to memorize as much as I can, that now when someone shows me a photo and I can name off almost all the flowers or know exactly what it is, I feel like $1,000,000. Yes, I think slow growth was what we needed. Starting in our home, doing this on the side as I was working a full-time job, we needed it to be a slow thing. And what was so beautiful about that is we were able to take projects on that we wanted to and say no to things we didn't want to. And because we did it so slow, we were able to do it in a timely manner where we knew how much we could handle. When we first started, if someone asked me to do a whole wedding with an altar and 22 centerpieces and 8 bridesmaids and the whole 9 yards, I would say no at first. So you're turning away client, you're turning away business. But that didn't matter to me at first. What mattered to me was taking care of her, making sure that I didn't burn her out or I didn't overwork her. And so with us going slow, we were able to figure out how much we could handle and what we wanted to say yes and no to, where I think if we would have started off right off the bat trying to do everything, I think we would have bit off more than we could chew. And so I think going slow really let us know like how much we could handle and what is too much. And I would say 120 orders for Mother's Day was too much. But we learned from that, and this year we hired help and we were able to do it a lot faster, and I didn't kill my mom. So that was good. I think that if you just do one thing, I would get bored. I do get bored. I get bored really easy. I can't sit still. I'm always on the go. I love doing multiple things at once. I love being a part of everything. And so that's our challenge, is like, yes, we could have been experts in florals, but when I think of the traditional floral shops, I'm like, why are they still doing stuff that they did 30 years ago? Why do all the websites look the same? Like, it's just boring. And so I love that we get to create something beautiful and different and fun and unique. But I also just think to be talented in many things or have an eye for different things, you bring more to the table. So yes, I could be an expert in flowers, but now that I could do other things for you, when someone says, hey, I want you to decorate my whole party, it's not just florals. I could bring florals and balloons and a charcuterie spread and whatever else you've seen that you want me to do, I most likely can do it. And so now, instead of just getting one invoice, I'm getting multiple incomes from multiple things, rather than just saying, I could bring you a bouquet of flowers. So that's why I love that we are not just becoming experts in florals, but we're trying to become experts in multiple things. Yeah, I think expanding is always scary. But I think both me and my mom are like challengers. So once we become good at something, we're like, okay, what's next? Like, we don't want to do the same thing over and over. And I think that's what I'm so excited to me where we go in the future of even something I'm not aware of going, we're going to try it and it's going to work, and we had no idea, no intention. I would say the biggest thing that really expanded us, if I was to give you a vivid moment, was when Pampas grass came out. That was the most wild ride ever, because I had 2 random girls just ask about it for decor. And I was like, sure, I'll look into it. I'll go to the warehouse and see if I could find it for you. Well, I came to a warehouse randomly on a Friday. I found it, I sent them a photo, and they're like, yes, I want it. And I brought it back, and they both posted a photo of it, and it went viral. Like, I mean, we probably gained 1,000 followers within 2 months when we were selling that Pampas grass. But I think me and my mom love trying new things, and I think we'll never stop at just one. And I think that we'll always have new services and new creativity of, I just want to keep making Lakeland beautiful. At the end of the day, I think that was my dream with the storefront, was like, I want to give back to the community. I want to make things pretty, not just people's homes, but yeah, and I think having a storefront is just going to give us more recognition where we could help people be creative, and they might have an idea and not know how to do it, and they could show it to us, and we'll say, we'll try it, or we've done that, or give us a shot at it. So I'm excited to even see where we expand from where we are now. Lakeland to me is an amazing community. Like, the reason why I moved here was I wanted a big town, but to feel small. I love when you could walk into a grocery store like Publix and run into a friend or someone that you recognize, or walk into Catapult and just walk into people where it's like there's enough people to meet new people, but there's enough people that you recognize and you're like, hey, you are from here, I know you from here. The community and the support, I think that's what made me want to step out and do this, was every time someone would start something, or not even a business, just anything, like they celebrate each other. Lakeland celebrates one another, and I feel like it doesn't even matter if you're in the same business. You don't even feel like a competitor. You're almost like, hey, we're doing this together. How can we collaborate? I cheer you on, you cheer me on.